Hola y bienvenidos al Club de Drama. On this week's episode, we talk about Constance Wu's constant woes. I'm so sorry, I just had to. And then Stef tells us the tragic story of Rebecca Schaeffer, and I close it out with the wild tale of Lana Turner. Stay tuned.
What up, fam? What up, fam? It's good, y'all. Feels good, right? Good, right? Yeah, I know it, dude. And without further ado, we broadcasting live from CA to NY.
Wouldn't it be fun if I just took the Porsche,
Jose got a new car. He got a BMW.
Oh, what kind?
Oh, fuck, man. It's a 5 Series. I know that.
Oh, okay. My mom used to have one, remember?
And I don't know anything else. But it's nice.
That was the one I peed in.
Oh, my God. Why'd you guys switch from BMW to Mercedes?
Because the guy works at Mercedes. The guy that has, like, the
okay.
deal. If I could afford it, I would go back to BMW.
Yeah, you like those fast cars, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I wanted to tell you
You got a
something.
fast car.
Tracy ass bitch. Drake, like Drake.
Mm-hmm. Drake.
Drake. Yeah. I actually have a friend named Drake also. So.
Drake, Champagne Poppy. What's his last name?
I don't know. He posted this thirst trap on Instagram. Did you see this?
Yeah, and then everybody's calling him out for having fucking Colombian
ab
abs.
surgery. I can't believe that shit. That's so funny.
Honestly, they don't look fake to me because they don't look that good.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah. Not to be my favorite murderer-ish. Yes, that's exactly right.
Yeah, because, I mean, if you're going to get it, you're going to get, like, fucking abs.
Real ass abs, yeah. Right? Like some Usher ass abs.
Yes. Or remember when Ludacris, like airbrushed some on his?
No, he didn't.
Yeah, for a music video.
That's fucking awesome. Hey, man, I'm not mad at it.
You know what I want to get? Are there tricep implants?
What the fuck?
Because I was telling Jazzy this, like, I'm pretty happy with my body except for my triceps, but I want to do literally zero work to get them.
Yeah. Hey, man, that's the American way. And then we wonder why everybody fucking hates us. We're fucking lazy.
I'm gonna get fillers on my triceps.
That's amazing.
I was listening to this first time in a long time I've listened to an old episode of ours.
I actually started listening to an old one too. That's so weird that you said that.
I listened to the Las Vegas episode.
Oh, how is it? Is it weird?
No, it's actually really funny because we're so hyped and like.
Oh yeah, and then Tiffany comes in the door, right?
Yeah. We're super pumped. We were so young then. We've been through so much together.
You're stupid. Oh my gosh. I just realized I put on my chonies backwards. What the fuck? Oh.
You might be a slut when
you don't realize your chonies are on backwards.
Did you know that Auntie says that Denise Richards used to be one of Heidi's girls?
No.
Yeah.
He said that?
Yeah. He said, how do you think she came out of fucking nowhere and then became a Bond girl and then was linked to all these famous men's?
And she was with fucking Charlie Sheen, who was all up in Heidi's shit.
Yep.
May.
So I want to do some more research on that, but
yeah,
when I saw that chisme, I was like,
yeah. That makes hella sense. Yo, shout out to fucking what's that awful movie that I like that she's in? I never know
Wild
the name
Things?
of shit. It always fucking pisses me off.
Wild Things?
No, I don't like Wild Things. Starship Troopers.
Starship Troopers actually is one of those movies that film critics and the public have been reassessing, talking about how it was like low-key genius and ahead of its time.
It's really good. I like that movie. It's like cheesy as fuck. It's really good. The big ass monster looks like a fat pug.
A fat pug. Did you
fat alien pug?
Did you hear that Michelle Pfeiffer is going to be in Maleficent 2?
Really? I didn't even
Yeah.
know they were making a Maleficent 2.
Okay, I didn't see Maleficent 1. Even though I like Angelina Jolie and I like
she looks fucking awesome.
She looks awesome, right? And I like the idea of a villain too, like a villain Disney movie. That sounds cool.
Yeah.
But I didn't see it. But now that I'm like, oh my god, the other villain in Maleficent 2 is gonna be Michelle Pfeiffer. This is extremely my jam.
Yeah, we gotta watch that shit.
Hell yeah.
God damn. Oh, I watched Long Shot. It was so cute.
Really?
I thought that was way better than Crazy Rich Asians.
Really?
Yeah, Charlize Theron's badass, and
Damn.
Seth Rogen's really cute. Like,
You
he's
racist.
really awesome. That was funny. I want to see that other Asian movie that's coming out. It's called what's it called?
Is it the one with Awkwafina?
No, the one with Ali Wong. You'll Always Be My Maybe.
Oh yeah, that looks really cute.
It looks so cute.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that one looks like it's gonna be hella better than Crazy Rich. I just don't like Crazy Rich Asians. I'm just pissed because there was so much hype about it.
Yeah.
And it was not up
Honestly,
to my standard.
now I don't want to watch it. Like,
Don't watch it.
Yeah.
It's fucking shit.
All right.
I really like Randall Park. Randall Park is in fucking Long
He's
Shot.
funny. Yeah.
Yeah, that feels really funny.
But I was gonna say that Awkwafina movie though. I don't know what it's called, but did you see the trailer for it this week? It looks good as fuck. It's like
No, what is it?
It's like a drama. It's based on a true story.
I told you that my one thing that I actually loved about Crazy Rich Asians was Awkwafina and her character.
That's
She's
surprising.
Awesome. Yeah, and I always thought that she was gonna be like annoying or something.
Yeah, for
but
sure.
every time I see her, she's really great. So cool. Shout out to Awkwafina. You fucking hydrated as shit.
Actually, I don't fuck with Awkwafina the water, so I don't expect to fuck with Awkwafina the actress.
I hate Awkwafina the water. That's the worst.
Oh, one time me and Stef and like her cousins and Howell were all in a car. I think we were like going to Vegas. No, we were taking a road trip for some reason. And
Nice.
and Steph went into a convenience store to get some water, and I made a bet with everybody in the car that I could guess what type of water she was gonna get.
What did I get?
I said, all right, so like Carlos was like, "Ooh, she's gonna get Aquafina," and then like Jose was like, "Oh, she's gonna get fucking I don't know, Sparklets," and then Howell was like, "Nah, fool, she's gonna get Fiji or something," and I was like, "It's gonna be Smart Water." And then guess what you came out with?
Smart water. Baby. You the smartest, man. I usually go Smart Water if it's like gas station water.
Yeah.
Which don't fuck with plastic bottles because we love this earth.
Yep.
But we've all been in that pickle where you hungover and you got to get a bottle of water.
Right.
Anyways, so yeah, Smart Water, or I really like Aqua Hydrate. It's not as available everywhere though.
Oh, what is that?
It's just like one with a bunch of electrolytes and shit.
Oh. I will, if I'm feeling bougie, I will get some alkaline water, even though
that
shit is ridiculous, but
yeah. Smart Water is the best. It really is. It tastes like the crispest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Fiji too, but
yeah, me too. But I don't fuck with that square bottle actually.
Because it doesn't fit in any cup holders and shit.
Yeah, it's like so ridiculous.
It's like fucking extra, yeah.
Yeah. So fuck you, Fiji.
That reminds me of like, because I was like, ooh, that's how well we know each other. That like if we could do some, But that reminds me also of one time. I always think about this, that you said that the only thing wrong with our friendship. You said this like 10 years ago. I always think about this. You said the only thing wrong with our friendship is that we don't wear the same shoe size.
Shoe size. Yeah, I still stand by that statement. Imagine me. Oh my god.
We could take over the world.
Closet? Yeah, fuck that. We would be president and vice president right now. Oh my god. The sickest shoe game. I would rock your Balenciagas. You'd have my Chanels. It would be fucking crazy. Yeah. Dude, I just remembered because you were like, I'm racist for like I just remembered that Ice Cube's son is like
oh yeah,
that's Seth Rogen's best friend, and he did something really funny, and I want to do it now. He's like, they're like getting fucked up, like they're partying, and then Seth Rogen has to go to work, so he jumps in a car, and Ice Cube's son, what's his name?
O'Shea Jackson Jr.
Yeah, O'Shea Jackson. He's like saying bye to him. He's like, bye baby, I love you, bad boys for life. I was like, oh my god. I'm gonna do that to May now. Every time I say bye to her.
He's low-key kind of cute.
He's super cute. He's like really fucking cool too.
Let's look around. You be our honored guest tonight.
All right, so what are we going to talk about? You want to introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. My name is Stephanie.
And hi, everyone. My name is May, a.k.a. not the racist one.
You're such a bitch. Imagine you're racist because you don't like Crazy Rich Asians. That's fucked up.
No, you're racist because you like Long Shot over Crazy Rich Asians because you made the comparison.
Man. I'm sorry. Those are the last two romantic comedies I see. I like both of them more than I like the one I saw with J-Lo. What was that one called?
The one with
Second Act
with Milo Ventimiglia.
Oh yeah, he's fine, but no.
You know, Mandy Moore calls him Milo. Is it Milo?
I think it's Milo. Yeah, she's probably right, since she knows it for real and we don't.
But everyone says Milo. Everyone else, right?
I think so, yeah. I remember one time seeing Jake Gyllenhaal talk about how you're supposed to pronounce his last name, and I was like, nope, fuck that.
Is it Gyllenhaal?
It's like Gyllenhagen.
Nope. Sorry.
No, sorry. Sorry, Jake Gyllenhaal. That's not your name, dude. Call it what you want to call it.
Just like, Rihanna says Rihanna and everyone's like, no, it's Rihanna. Sorry.
Absolutely not. Yeah.
All right. So this is the Drama Club. Welcome.
We like to be dramatic.
This is the podcast all about traumatic things.
We live for the drama.
Celebrity scandals.
Celebrity bios.
Water.
Breaking entertainment news.
Yeah.
Damn. Fights and shit.
We have wide and varied interests, guys.
Very true. Very true.
So you got a hot topic?
What did I say? I forgot. Oh, Constance Wu.
Yeah.
Constance Wu. No, see? Now everybody's for real going to think I'm racist because I'm going to talk shit about Constance Wu.
Let me tell you.
Let me tell you that first of all, I love Asian people, okay?
I would throw in some of our best friends are Asian.
Yeah. Oh, that's what white people always do when they're like they're racist. They're like, my best friend's black. No, he's not.
Oh my God. I sent a thing to Stef and the girls in our group chat talking about how like studies have shown that half the people you think are your friends are not your friends.
Oh, yeah.
Because humans have a terrible perception of friendship. So then I was like, there's 4 of us in the group chat. I was like, which one of you guys isn't my friend?
I said I wasn't.
All because we don't wear the same shoe size.
Yep. So Constance Wu, as most people know, is the star of Fresh Off the Boat, right?
Fresh Off the Boat, yep. Crazy Rich Asians.
And Crazy Rich Asians, which is not a bop. I'm sorry, don't at me. And Fresh Off the Boat got renewed for a new season. Mm-hmm. She commented on their Instagram announcing the renewal of the new season, and she literally said, what did she say? Fuck.
Dislike,
yeah.
That is some shit.
And like, when the celebrity or like the person with the most followers comments and it comes up right there.
Yep, they rise to the top.
And then you know how the internet do, screenshots fucking flow in with that shit. And then she went to Twitter, which is not a good idea, but she went to her Twitter and said, and actually she hasn't deleted it. She said, so upset right now that I'm literally crying. Ugh, fuck.
Yeah.
And then like 5 seconds later, she tweeted, fucking hell. And everybody was like, what the fuck?
Right.
Dude.
When she first posted the tweet, I was living.
Oh, yeah, me too. We text each other like right away.
I was like, ooh, what is this about? Because I thought she was going to try to, and she did for a minute try to play it off like, oh, this has nothing to do with Fresh Off the Boat. It's just bad timing.
This is the problem with her is that she flip-flop.
Yep. Yeah. And let me tell you, I was a big fan of Constance Wu before this because I think she's gorgeous.
And she's cool as fuck. I like Fresh Off the Boat.
I've seen it a few times. I don't watch it, but it's funny.
Yeah.
She's funny as fuck. She knows how to dress. Like I've been team Constance Wu.
Yeah.
And this
she actually has been like some of the best dressed that we've seen in like the last couple of years of award show stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So I've been here for Constance Wu. So I was ready to give her the benefit of the doubt too. I was like, oh, what is this about? But then when the Instagram comment surfaced and she put dislike, like that's not open to interpretation.
No, and that's what that's why it was weird that she was like, this is how I normally talk. You are making assumptions of about what I'm saying. And no, that's not what it's about. Stop assuming. That's what she tweeted like once everybody started popping off on the internet and was like, wow, what a bitch. Because it really like they're like you're on a hit show. You got renewed.
Right.
You should be happy. Like,
most people would be jumping for joy.
And they're saying, like, how privileged are you?
Right.
To say that, like, I don't know, that you're too good for it now or whatever.
Yeah.
And
off of one hit, honestly, off of
one movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then to be like, you know, it's inconsiderate of all of the crew, the rest of the cast, like everybody who has jobs on this show who
depend on the show.
Yes, depend on the show, and she's just gonna drag it like that, being the star. That's so irresponsible and unprofessional.
It's so shitty. And honestly, maybe she wasn't happy about it, and that's understandable too. Like maybe she's ready to do other things, but it was just crazy that she aired it out in public like that. That shit is crazy.
Most TV stars who end up breaking through to film or just like bigger things, you see them get tired with their roles.
Right. You're doing the same thing day in, day out.
And I get that. But you have to have loyalty. Like, I don't know. If anything in this world, fuck, man.
Right. But I mean, even let's take it into literally any other industry. People get bored in their jobs. Sometimes,
hell yeah, they do.
You know?
Yeah,
like,
it happens.
Whether you're a mechanic or fucking an office worker, sometimes you just want to do something else. That's not a weird feeling that she had. It's just not the appropriate way to express that.
Yes. Especially in the type of job that she's in.
Right, where so many people depend on her and and
like you're just gonna put it out there for the public.
Yeah, and you're so privileged to have this amazing opportunity that so many other people would kill for.
That's what everybody was saying to her.
Yeah.
So then, so first she's like backtracking. She's like, no, that's not what it was about. Y'all are fucked up. Y'all got me fucked up.
Yep.
Like, that was just ill-timed tweets, and that's just how I talk and shit. Which, first of all, I'm somebody that cusses like every other word.
Right.
Bitch, you knew what you were doing. That was not a flippant fuck, okay?
Right. And also, that's not what people took issue with. It wasn't that you were like, fuck this. It wasn't that. It was the sentiment.
Yeah. So then the next day, we all woke up to a beautiful apology note.
Loved it.
It was fucking crazy. She was saying, she basically admitted, she's like, okay, yes, I had to give up another project because I have to do Fresh Off the Boat. I know that this could get muddled and it's a great show. I'm happy with it, but I'm bored. She literally said, I'm bored.
Yeah.
It doesn't challenge me as an artist, which that I feel like, why are you saying all that?
Yeah, don't say that shit.
It's fucked up. Just say like, if she would have just said I had to cancel something,
right,
I would have been like, okay,
right.
But she's straight up like, I'm bored with this character. You're basically backhanding all the writers.
Yeah, and why is she giving so much information?
I don't know.
It's unnecessary. Just shut up.
So then she's like,
by the way, how awkward is this going to be when she goes to work? Like,
oh my God,
this is going to be bad. Does she expect them to treat her nice at all?
No, they're gonna kill her ass off.
Yeah. Yep.
You dead. Which is probably what she wanted, but yeah. So she said my words were ill-timed. It was insensitive. People assumed I meant I don't love Fresh Off the Boat, but I do love it. That's what she's kind of trying to like justify what she was saying the day before. And then this is the kicker. She ends this statement by saying, I appreciate those who have given me the space and faith to believe what I say about both parts of my heart. Thank you. It's meaningful when you make the choice to believe women.
Listen, it wasn't great before that.
No, but that was
believe women, as if she's trying to equate herself with like the Me Too movement. Bitch, this is not
a feminist issue.
No,
this is your own personal fucked up issue.
This is about you being an asshole. I'm a woman. Believe that. And then NT spilled the tea. And
then all the tea started coming out about Constance Wu, which I was pretty shocked about, actually.
Apparently, she's a diva behavior, and this is something that not many people who know her or who are in the industry are surprised about.
Yeah, that she's always a bitch like that. And so everybody was like, the fuck?
Which is shitty because like now really like after all your shit is your dirty laundry is out in the air now, and like what? You think people are going to hire you after this?
Nope. So whatever you were upset about canceling, you should be extra upset now because you're not going to get offered anything else.
Right.
I liked anti-lawyers started posting like, let me remind you all these other great up and coming actors who famously like turned their back on the show that gave them the leg up and saw their careers flop after that. Katherine Heigl is like the one I always think of.
Yeah.
For me, yes, because I was watching Grey's Anatomy when she was on it, and she won a fucking Emmy for her role, and she was like doing so good. Then she starred in fucking, what's it called? Knocked Up. Yeah. And that shit was a big ass hit. Yeah. And she was like, had all these things coming for her. And then she started talking shit about everybody. Why, Sway? Right. Why? She talked shit about Shonda Rhimes, which, why the fuck would you do that?
Right. It's like talking shit about Oprah. Just like don't say it. Just, even if you do feel that way, just keep your mouth shut. She got a lot of friends. You know, she's very powerful.
Yeah. Started talking shit about Shonda Rhimes, saying that her character was boring, that the writers didn't give her anything impressive to work with the following season after she had just won a fucking Emmy.
Yeah.
And then started talking shit about Seth Rogen, saying that Knocked Up was fucking whatever bullshit. And he's like, what? Like, he was like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah.
So then what happened? They killed her out, or they didn't kill her off Grey's Anatomy. They just like, her character left. Mm-hmm. And then her film career just fizzled out.
Never to be heard from again.
Yeah, why you do that? What were you doing?
And then her co-star from Crazy Rich Asians, Gemma Chan, liked a tweet.
I know.
Calling her a bitch or something. But then Gemma Chan was walking back and said that she was like scrolling and accidentally liked it.
Yeah, I saw her say that. But Gemma Chan, no. You know you like that shit, girl.
You should be able to put a lock on likes on Twitter and on Instagram.
No, May, we need to see that shit.
Because sometimes you're like super far back, like when you're stalking someone. And
I know what you're saying.
It would be nice to be able to scroll safely. Okay, so who goes first?
I think I do, because you did Anne Heche.
Oh, yeah.
First last time.
That was the last one?
Yeah, it's crazy, right? Yeah, crazy, rich Latinas. Crazy, not rich. Crazy, upper middle class Latinas.
That's rica famosa Latina, kind of, because they're like upper middle class.
Yeah, they're not like crazy rich.
These lovely girls are not movie stars.
All right, I'm up. Batter up.
Yep. Okay,
this is the story of Rebecca Schaeffer.
Oh, a murder.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
A murder.
I'm with it. Yesterday, I had a cigar in my mouth.
Why? Ew.
And I wasn't smoking. It wasn't lit, but I had the cigar in my mouth, and I kept like thinking, like, this would be perfect for me to start talking like this.
I got most of this from a podcast called Case File, and an episode they did on Rebecca, as well as various news articles about her life. So, like May said, Rebecca was an up-and-coming actress who was murdered when she was very young, which is why you probably haven't heard of her if you're around. I mean, I think our age, I remember hearing about her. Like, I don't think we were alive when she died.
No, but I remember seeing
it was a big ass thing.
Stuff like on E, you know, like one of those like most shocking type things.
Yes, and her story was the first E! True Hollywood story.
What?
That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So she was an only child born in 1967 in Oregon to an instructor at Portland Community College, her mom, Dana, and her dad was a child psychologist. His name was Dr. Benson Schaeffer. They're still alive, actually.
Oh.
She began modeling in high school during her junior year. Her childhood was like comfortable, upper middle class. She was an only child. Both of her parents had good jobs. So she was like, well educated and shit. She did really well in school. She was super committed to the Jewish faith. And she briefly considered becoming a rabbi.
Oh, cool. I love women rabbis.
Yeah. She had photo shoots in department store catalogs and landed some TV commercials. So pretty much as soon as she started doing more modeling stuff, she forgot all about becoming a rabbi because this new world was like super exciting. And she was like, yeah, I'm going to do this.
I'm looking at pictures of her right now.
She's bomb.
She got that amazing like
80s.
Like Julia Roberts early 90s hair. That like the curl.
Yeah. Yeah, that curl is iconic.
Yeah. She's cute.
In August 1984, her parents let her move to New York City to pursue a modeling career when she was 18 years old. She landed a role on a daytime soap opera called Guiding Light. And then in late 1984, she landed a main part on an ABC show called One Life to Live for 6 months.
Okay.
So she was out there working, trying to model, but at 5'7", she wasn't really getting high fashion modeling jobs in New York, where the market's really just high for like high fashion. If you're 5'7", unless you're Kate Moss, you're really not gonna fucking make it in high fashion modeling.
Yeah, Kate Moss is a unicorn.
Yeah.
Also, a lot of heroin. You need a lot of heroin to make it as a 5'7" model.
In 1985, she moved to Japan to try to land more modeling jobs. I think she really wanted to make it as a model.
Yeah.
But again, she struggled because she's a little bit shorter. After nothing really panned out in modeling, she decided to move to LA to focus on acting, where she seemed to be getting more bops.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Plus, her grandpa lived in LA, and her parents were really happy about her moving closer for them to visit.
Perfect.
So in 1986, she was cast for a role in Woody Allen's film Radio Days.
She was in Radio Days? Oh my God.
Well, he ended up cutting most of her character from the film.
I love that movie.
So there's only still a tiny scene featuring her remaining. Yeah, that movie's good. I watched the part because everybody was talking about, she's in this part. She started working as a waitress and still pushing to try and model and act, and ended up landing the cover of 17 magazine.
Wow.
Yeah. So through that cover, she caught the attention of some TV producers who were casting for a new sitcom on CBS called My Sister Sam.
Hey.
She was cast for the co-starring role of Patty, who was a teenager who moves from Oregon to San Fran to live with her 29-year-old sister after the death of their parents. Oh. Very, very 80s sitcom.
Yeah, yep. I can hear the theme song in my mind right now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people like crossing their arms and like going back to back, you know.
Yeah, it was like so typical. Like every episode, the sisters would get on each other's nerves, and then they'd go through some little bonding experience. And by the end of the episode, they're having like a close, like, you know, whole fucking Family Matters vibe and shit. The show was airing on primetime bi-weekly, and it catapulted her into sitcom level fame.
Oh, cool. Oh, so it actually like
it was a bop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Plus, she had like the modeling background. So when she came out on the show, magazines and newspapers loved doing little interviews and stories of her with the little perfect photo shoot.
Yeah.
To go along with it, because she's perfect to take photos of.
Did you see that thing that went viral where a guy from Barstool Sports was making fun of that girl that was posing at Yankee Stadium?
Oh, yeah. That was fucking stupid.
Yeah, it was so... And everybody dragged him for trying to drag her.
They're like, you're the same kind of guy who follows those influencers who post pictures like that and probably fucking wanking to it.
Yeah. Anyways, she turned out to be a model. And I was like, of course she is, because look at how perfect she's hitting all these poses.
Yeah, she was beautiful.
Yeah.
Shit, I would take pictures of myself like that. If I fucking look like that, I'd take pictures of myself like that too. Motherfucker, Barstool Sports. Get the fuck out. So she's doing well. Rebecca, I mean. Also that model.
Also, yeah, she is doing really well.
Good. So Rebecca's doing well, and she starts getting fan mail, which is like OG version of a DM. It was mostly young girls who looked up to her, with the few boys here and there who were infatuated with her, basically.
And she's super young still, right?
Yeah, she's like gotta be like 19 right now.
Okay.
One of the fans who was sending her mail was this unemployed 16-year-old by the name of Robert John Bardot. He would record the show My Sister Sam on tape, which was a thing that people used to do, and then rewatch it when it wasn't on live. And he became more and more interested in Rebecca and her character Patty. Robert was the youngest of 7 children, and he moved around a lot as a child, as his dad was in the Air Force. As a child, Robert was sexually abused by one of his older siblings, and he threatened to commit suicide when he announced it to the family that he had been getting abused.
Oh my God.
After that, his parents placed him in foster care for a while to try and figure out what they could do.
Yeah.
And he got diagnosed with bipolar disorder.
It's really like, I know, I feel for people who have a lot of children, because sometimes like one can get sort of lost in the shuffle. Like maybe you wish you could devote all this attention to the one like that who's having problems, but like you have 6 other children, you know?
Right.
Ugh.
Yeah, I don't know what the balance is there. If you don't have a lot of help, I don't really know what you could do. You just do your best, I guess.
Yeah.
Also, I guess his family had a history of mental illness. I didn't see exactly what it was, but they had some probably like genetic mental illness things going on. At 15 years old, Robert was institutionalized for a month to try to get a hold of his issues, but he left. And And then he dropped out of a high school as a freshman.
Wow.
And he started working as a janitor at fast food places. So he became infatuated with Rebecca. He would collect articles and interviews on her. He started writing to her to let her know how he felt about her. So at first, he would just tell her that he thought she was so pretty and that watching her made him so happy. But later, the letters would get longer and longer. Like, he would start ranting.
Yeah, so he's getting desperate.
Yeah, he starts pouring his heart out about how he was having what he believed were real feelings for Rebecca.
Oh my God. Do we know if he felt like, if he thought in his mind that she was like reciprocating it?
So not at this point, but
Okay.
So Robert believed also that Rebecca was Patty, her character on the show.
Oh no.
So he projected all of the characters' persona onto Rebecca.
Mm-hmm.
And he would say things like, we both play guitar. We're both so misunderstood. And even so far as believing whatever happened in the last episode had really happened to her.
Oh no.
So
he was like, he was
yeah.
like, did you remember last week when you forgot your keys?
Yeah.
How'd that work out?
I'm so glad you and your sister were able to work out that one thing that happened. So Rebecca now is kind of like I said, like sitcom level star.
Yeah.
So she was out in LA. She was getting invited to some parties and premieres. She was becoming the it girl she had always dreamed about becoming.
Mm-hmm.
She presented at a Thanksgiving Day parade that year that the show started.
Mm-hmm.
And Robert, I guess, recorded that shit and like would rewatch it and watch it and rewatch it.
This is so scary.
I know. Rebecca didn't love LA, but she was really happy with her new fame and job opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
She was super active while on sets, and everybody she worked with said that she would ask people like, what do you do? Like, what's your job duties? Try to learn as much as she could about the stuff going on behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
And she was super active and dedicated when she was actually working. Like, she was trying to learn her craft as much as possible.
Good for her, man.
Yeah.
That's how you fucking do it.
Yeah. So Rebecca started getting more and more fan mail as the show was progressing. And what she did was she hired a separate company to respond on her behalf because it ended up becoming impossible for her to respond to everyone personally. But she still wanted to respond as personally as she could because she was like, these are my fans and this is what I always fucking wanted, you know?
Yeah.
So she would sign pictures. Like, she would just autograph a bunch of pictures. She would write a bunch of draft responses.
Yeah.
So that the fans would think that that she was taking the time to really respond to them.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much as she could do at that time. And that's really great, actually, I think.
Yeah, she doesn't have to do any of that.
Fuck no. So she was dating around, but mostly was a homebody who hung out with a small group of friends. And she moved to an apartment by herself in West Hollywood, which was hip to people who had kind of made it, but not all the way yet at that time. Mm-hmm. Fun fact, boop, one of her neighbors at that time was a young actor by the name of Brad Pitt.
Damn, Brad Pitt is like on some Forrest Gump shit, like in lots of little stories from lots of people over like the late 80s and 90s and shit.
Hell yeah, because he was out there working, trying to make it at the same time.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, so Robert continued to send letters to her movie studios and to her agents' offices. He ended up receiving a photograph signed by Rebecca in response to one of the letters that he sent.
Yeah.
And it had, it was her autograph. It had a peace symbol. It had a heart. And he believed that this meant, oh my God, like the attraction's mutual. Like, she's reading my letters.
No.
And then he got another response to another letter that he wrote with like a little handwritten note that said, your letter is one of the nicest I have received, like, and signed by her.
Okay.
So he was like fucking convinced, like, that's it. Like, she's into me.
Yeah.
So he started posting pictures of her all over his wall, creating like a shrine.
Oh.
And he started writing songs for her. And he would send this shit to her, and then he'd wait for her to respond to him. And so whatever. He thought they were fucking meant to be, basically.
Yeah.
In the summer of 1987, Robert decided to go see Rebecca. He bought a Greyhound bus ticket for a 10-hour ride to Los Angeles. He lived in Tucson. On June 2nd, Robert arrived at Warner Brothers Studios in Burbank with a giant teddy bear, and he asked security to be let in so he could go meet with Rebecca, and security guards were like, nah, brah.
Yeah.
And they turned him away.
You're not on the list.
But he was super adamant that he needed to see her, and he was showing the security guards all these notes that he had received from her, and they're like, look, like, I actually know her and stuff.
Yeah.
But they were like, no.
Okay, well, good for them.
Yeah, so they turned him away, and then he remembered that she had talked about her apartment in her 17 magazine interview.
Oh, no.
Which he happened to have on him because,
Yep.
So he wandered around Hollywood looking for apartments that matched the description that she had given in the magazine.
Wow.
When that fucking psychotic plan didn't work out and he ran out of money, he reluctantly got on a Greyhound bus and went back home to Arizona.
Okay, good.
When he was back home, he started calling the studio over and over again, demanding to speak to Rebecca, but never being let through. He started getting frustrated and returned to Warner Brothers Studios a month later. He had concealed a knife in his bag this time, but again, the security guards would not let him in as he seemed a little, there's something clearly wrong with him.
Yeah. But does anyone tell Rebecca or call someone and say, hey, maybe she needs an escort or,
Nope.
Oh.
So Robert was so persistent that he needed to be let in that the security guards had had enough of him, and they escorted him to the head of security's office.
Okay.
There, he went into a rant about how much he loved Rebecca and they needed each other, and how he had all these gifts for her that he had brought all the way from Arizona.
This is bad,
This
really,
is
really bad.
The security chief escorted him off the premises and had a long talk with him about forgetting about Rebecca and working on his own personal life. The security chief informed the show. Oh, so this is when they do tell. He informed the show's production company about the fan since the incident was creepy, but nobody did anything about it.
Ugh.
And I don't know if it ever got to Rebecca, actually.
You don't necessarily have to tell her. Oh, maybe, yeah, do tell her because you have to kind of be aware. But, they should have just said, oh, hey, we're going to have somebody walk you off the lot today or, whatever.
Anything,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Just, take any fucking step to protect this young girl who's working for you.
Yeah. Oh.
Meanwhile, Rebecca started feeling insecure with her career because right around this time is when she learned that Woody had cut her from his film Radio Days.
Oh, yeah.
Motherfucker. Then her hit show, My Sister Sam, was pulled from primetime to make way for this new show called The Facts of Life, which...
Oh, shit. And that's a bop.
That's a bop as fuck.
Woo.
So she tried to remain optimistic and did her best for her role, but unfortunately, the series was dropping in ratings pretty quickly in the second season, and it ended up getting canceled halfway through.
Okay.
So 12 episodes that they had even actually shot ended up never making it to air.
Damn.
So she gets pretty down on herself. That sucks.
Yeah. And it's the first time you have that success, so you're kind of like, whoa, what if this is the only time? And
yeah.
Ugh.
It's got to be so hard to be an actor.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Robert was down on himself after this is now the second time he's been turned away from being able to see Rebecca when he's right there, So Robert's down on himself. Yeah. So he gets home and he starts deconstructing his shrine to Rebecca, and he started turning his attention to some pop singers.
Oh.
He started writing some letters to various pop stars, but never got any responses. Then in 1988, Robert went to New York City to meet Debbie Gibson.
Ooh.
But security quickly escorted him out of the show because he started, ranting and stuff.
Yeah.
Allegedly, on this trip, he visited the spot where Mark Chapman had murdered John Lennon as
Holy
well.
shit.
Yeah, and he became obsessed with the book The Catcher in the Rye, which is the book that Mark famously carried with him when he shot Lennon. I love that book, actually.
What's your name? Catcher? Do you remember that? What is that? What is that movie? It's that Jennifer Aniston, Jake Gyllenhaal movie.
Gyllenhagen. Yeah. Shop Girl? No, that's not Shop Girl. But they're working at the supermarket?
Yeah, and then she's like, What are you reading? And he's like, Catcher in the Rye, I'm named after it. And she's like, what's your name? Catcher.
Jennifer Aniston is she's not a bad actress.
No, she's not. But I think that she needs to just like think outside the box. Like she plays the same characters that don't really require much of her.
But I loved Cake. Is that the name of that one?
Oh yeah, she's very good in Cake.
That movie's fucking good. She's good in that movie with Jake Gyllenhaal.
She's also very good in
The
Horrible Boss. The Good Girl.
Oh yeah,
Horrible Bosses, because it's against type. Like she's a villain. I would love to see a Jennifer Aniston villain movie.
Me too.
Did you watch Dumpling? Is that how it? It was like it's that Netflix movie where like her daughter is like fat. And she's a pageant queen. Jennifer Aniston's a pageant queen, and her daughter's like fat, and she decides to be in a pageant like to spite her mom.
Oh wow,
it's kind of cute.
Good reviews.
Yeah.
Seth Rogen makes a joke about Jennifer Aniston in Long Shot.
What does he say?
Because like the president in Long Shot is a former actor.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, oh, he's like a TV star, and he's like, he wants to make the jump to film. And he's like, yeah, not a lot of people can do that. And somebody says Jennifer Aniston, and he's like, did she though?
True.
All right. Okay, so he became obsessed with Catcher in the Rye, which is the book that Mark carried with him when he shot John Lennon. And then he briefly became obsessed when it didn't work out with Debbie Gibson. He briefly became obsessed with child peace activist Samantha Smith, but that ended when she died in a plane crash in 1985.
What? I'd never heard of Samantha Smith.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
I didn't look her up. I should have.
Also, who gets obsessed with Debbie Gibson when you can get obsessed with Tiffany?
Well, he was like sending her letters too.
Oh, okay, good.
He was like trying and failing, like basically with everybody.
Because that song, I think we're alone now. That's a bop.
I like that. Is Tiffany the one that's like, I need two of hearts, two hearts.
Oh, that's a bop.
One. I need you. Ooh, I'm gonna listen to that shit.
I'm gonna start stalking Tiffany.
She's gotta be at a fucking mall somewhere, right? I'm gonna get an Orange Julius and go stalk Tiffany.
Real talk, like not even joking. I think right now she's on tour with New Kids on the Block.
That's awesome. Good for her. So over the next 3 years, Robert was convicted of domestic violence and disorderly conduct.
Red flag.
His neighbors complained of unexplained, strange, and threatening behavior towards them. In one incident, Robert's own brother called 911 after a dispute over the TV turned really violent, and his brother said he was scared for his life.
Whoa.
After the third arrest, Robert was sentenced to go through a counseling program, but he literally just didn't enroll in it, and no one ever followed up with him.
And was he worried at all? Because presumably, the love of his life, Patty, is not on TV.
Right.
Is he like, what happened to her?
Yeah. Well, I think he's trying to move on from her at this point.
Okay.
But I don't know.
Because he thought it was real, So
yeah, he did. Yeah. I think we're alone. Meanwhile, Rebecca, while out of a job, was still super young and hot, so she began taking auditions for more shows or movies, famously losing the role of Vivian in Pretty Woman to Julia Roberts, who was the same age.
But better hair. Like, they have the same hair, but Julia's got, she edges it out.
Julia's smile is just iconic.
She has more teeth than humanly necessary. Like, it's just beautiful.
Yeah. I love when she smiles. Like, her whole face changes when she smiles.
Yeah.
It's just like unravels like a fucking lizard on her fucking face. Her lips get all big and shit.
She's just one of those personalities. Like, she can be, not even to say she's acting amazing. It's not even that. She's just like, her personality like bleeds through on camera. Kind of like a young, like not super young, but a younger Cameron Diaz would. She also had that.
Yeah, she definitely did. So Rebecca then landed a supporting role in 3 different movies: Scenes from the Class Struggle in Beverly Hills, The End of Innocence, and a TV movie called Out of Time.
Okay.
People were pretty impressed with her acting abilities, and she was well loved in the industry as a pleasure to work with.
Okay.
She was definitely on the radar of casting agents, and she was getting sent scripts to audition for, so that's really good. Yeah. And since Robert's crushes with other celebrities weren't panning out, he found himself still interested in Rebecca's work.
Okay.
So he saw Scenes from the Class Struggle in Beverly Hills opening weekend. He thought that, because remember, he thinks Rebecca's Patty.
Yeah. So he's like, oh, Patty moved to Beverly Hills. And,
yeah.
Oh, shit.
So he thought that she was going to be the exact same character in the movie.
Yeah.
But the film was edgier and darker, and Rebecca has a love scene in the film, and he was fucking pissed.
No.
Robert's image of her as an innocent character was completely shattered. He wrote her letters calling her a Hollywood whore. He started writing letters that are way more menacing to her.
Yeah.
He called her Miss Nudity Two Shoes.
That's really funny, though. I want that to be my screen name.
That's my @ name, yeah. His obsession was reignited, but in a completely different way. He was super upset this time. And he became obsessed with this idea that she's now sleeping around Hollywood, like she's changed.
Yeah.
Robert started turning to stories of other stalkers for hints on how to get close to celebrities since he wasn't having any luck in that department.
Hold up. Other stalkers.
That's crazy, right?
Oof.
He learned about the story of Teresa Saldana, who was stabbed and she was stalked and then stabbed by her stalker.
What?
Back in 1982.
The name sounds really familiar.
Yeah, I don't know her. So he started like researching what happened to her and found out that her stalker had hired a private detective in order to get her home address.
Oh my God.
So he was able to obtain a copy of Rebecca's home address by hiring a private detective in Tucson. He told the investigator that he had been an old friend of Rebecca's and they had lost touch when she moved to LA. Around this time, literally anybody could call the DMV and get someone's home address. Did you know that?
No.
That's fucking crazy, right?
Terrifying.
Yeah. In the beginning, so the guy quickly like gave him her fucking home at her apartment in West Hollywood. So in the beginning of July 1989, Rebecca was given the script to Godfather Part 3 and was asked to audition for the part of Mary Corleone. This was huge for her.
Of course it was. But honestly, like
that role is cursed. Seriously.
Yeah, it's cursed.
So for Rebecca, this was fucking crazy. Like being a part of this franchise was most likely going to change her career. And
but I mean, like
the movie was a flop.
Like she would have the role probably would have ended her career.
Really?
Yeah, because
maybe
she would have been
done
in
it better. I mean, nobody's gonna do it as bad as Sophia.
Yeah, but also just the role itself is not a good role. So you know, she's gonna be tied to this. You know.
Yeah, but don't you think like you would like just the networking at being a part of that movie and like meeting Francis Ford Coppola and like the world that could
maybe, especially because she seems so professional and personable.
Right.
Yeah.
So anyway, that is a big ass deal for her though. Either way, she didn't know the movie was gonna fucking suck. So think like you just don't know yet.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, sure.
So she's like, this is crazy, and the audition's set to take place with Francis Ford Coppola on July 18th. On July 15th, Robert asked his older brother to buy him a gun.
Oh my God.
He wrote a letter to his older sister and confessed his love for Rebecca and said, if I can't have her, no one can.
Okay, where no one's stepping in.
Yeah. I honestly don't know if his sister got the letter before everything happened.
But what about the brother and the gun? Like,
you know your brother's like angry and stuff. Yeah.
And unstable.
Yeah. But I don't know. People are fucking dumb.
Yeah.
On July 17th, Robert took a bus from Tucson to Los Angeles. On July 18th, Robert arrived to Rebecca's apartment in West Hollywood and rang the doorbell in the early morning. Rebecca was awake and she was ready for the biggest audition of her career up until that point. She walked downstairs and opened the door to the apartment complex, and Robert was standing there. He blurted out that he was her biggest fan and he held up his autograph picture of her. Mm-hmm. She told him that he was clever to find out where she had lived, but that it was inappropriate for him to be at her house. She shook his hand and told him to take care and asked him, please don't come back to my house.
Okay.
She walked back into her apartment, closed the door, and Robert walked away. He went to a diner then where he was eating and reading The Catcher in the Rye, like still kind of flustered by the whole thing that happened. Like he was flustered when she opened the door.
Yeah.
He realized that in his flustered state, he forgot to give her all the music that he had written for her. And so he was like, oh, I have to go back to her apartment and give her all this stuff because I forgot to give it to her.
Oh, okay.
At 10:15 a.m., he returned to Rebecca's apartment and rang the doorbell. She appeared again at the door, and this time she was upset. She said, please stop wasting my time. Like, please stop coming to my apartment.
Yeah.
He reached into a manila folder he was holding, and he said, I forgot to give you this. and pulled out a .357 Magnum gun. He grabbed Rebecca by the forearm, pointed the gun at her chest, and shot her point blank as she screamed, "Why?"
Oh my God.
Robert ran away from the scene of the crime as her neighbors ran out and found her body lying in the doorway. They called the ambulance, but Rebecca was pronounced dead at the scene, and she was 21 years old.
Oh, rest in peace. That's
Rest in peace.
horrible.
Because
It's horrible because you think like everything is happening for her. This is
Right.
everything she's ever dreamed of, and it's
worked of
right
since
there.
she was
yeah.
like in high school.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
my
it's right
God.
there, exactly, right? Like it's like, oh, like you're about to
Yeah.
like have it.
Yeah. Oh my God.
When news hit the press, Robert's sister called the police to say she was pretty much sure that her brother had committed the crime because by now she's read the letter.
Mm-hmm.
The LAPD put out a notice for his arrest in Arizona once they found out who it was, probably. And the police ended up finding Robert running into freeway traffic in Tucson, disheveled and disoriented.
Mm.
Robert told police immediately what he did. And he told police the gun, the shirt, and my copy of Catcher in the Rye are in this building in LA.
Mm-hmm.
He was then charged with murder. He was 19 years old. He was held on $1 million bail, which nobody paid for him.
Mm-hmm.
The state prosecutor was Miss Marcia Clark.
Oh, hey.
This is before OJ.
Yeah.
Robert's attorneys argued that he wasn't guilty by reason of insanity, and they had him declared schizophrenic. But ultimately, he was found guilty of first-degree murder, and he was sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole.
You know, I mean, but if he's not crazy, who is? Like, this is the definition of insanity, right?
Right. And then again, like you could be crazy and still know what you're doing, which is what happened here. Like he knew that he was killing her. Your craziness has to like, you really don't know what the fuck you're doing. Like, do you remember that mom who drowned her kids because the devil
told her to? Yeah.
Yeah. Like it has to be something like that. And I think she's still in like she's in a home or something.
Okay.
We should do that one. That's a fucking crazy story.
I saw like a 2020 on it not too long ago, and I just like jaw opened the whole time I was watching it. I was like, this is horrible.
Because the interview of her is fucking scary, right?
Yeah.
She's so like just far gone.
Yeah. Ugh.
So following Rebecca's death, everybody realized all the things that had gone wrong, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Congress passed the Driver's Privacy Protection Act, which prohibits DMVs from disclosing home addresses of state residents.
Good.
California passed its first anti-stalking law, because there wasn't one previously, which has been used now by several celebrities, including our David Letterman. Remember, we talked about the David Letterman episode? Hollywood studios changed their systems with regard to fan mail, which were more closely scrutinized following her death. And anything that was deemed obsessive is now flagged and given to police. None of that was done previously.
How do you even control that now that it's internet, though? You know?
I know. It's a whole new era.
Yeah.
Rebecca's parents became gun control activists, and they helped pass the legislation which imposes the 5-day waiting period on gun purchases.
Good for them, man. I like when people do that. Like they channel what could easily just like destroy them, and like this is not going to happen to anybody else, and do whatever they can to like help
for some good. Yeah, totally. On July 27th, 2007, Robert was stabbed 11 times on his way to breakfast while in jail.
Whoa, what?
He survived. Yeah. He survived, and he's still serving his life sentence in California. And that's the story of Rebecca Schaeffer.
Ooh, that was horrible.
That one's really scary, right?
Oh my God. I'm not going to sleep tonight.
I'm sorry.
This shit was so scary.
It's really scary just to see someone so far gone. And
yeah.
And I always feel this way. Like, I don't know, but like I get so mad when it's just not fair. Like how some people die.
Yeah.
Like good people that are young and like have everything waiting for them. It's just not fair. I hate that.
Ugh. Good job, Stef.
Thank you.
Okay, you're greeted at the door by Lana Turner, Deanna Durbin, and Marlena Dietrich.
All right.
Now we're all depressed.
Mine is a lot different.
Good. That's really good. I would hate to have 2 fucking murders. You know what's funny is I started listening to My Favorite Murder again. I think that's why I wanted to do a murder one.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. It's still fucking good. Those bitches.
Okay.
They really know what they're doing.
I want to listen to it. I just haven't had time recently, but yeah, I want to. You said they're doing like non-murders though now, right?
They also do like catastrophic events where a lot of people die.
All right.
Which that's actually interesting too.
Yeah, I'm interested in that too.
Yeah.
Oh. All right. So I'm going to talk about Lana Turner.
Oh. Wow, man.
AKA one of the baddest bitches of the golden age of Hollywood.
Yeah.
I got a lot of this from an episode of the E! Show Mysteries and Scandals. Do you remember that show?
No.
It's kind of like a shittier mini E! True Hollywood story. Like it was only like half an hour.
Oh my god, I went on Lana Turner's Wikipedia real quick. You should see the list of her husbands.
Yep. Oh, I'm getting to it. So,
damn.
so yeah, Mysteries and Scandals, which we could definitely host a revival of that show.
That'd be fucking awesome.
And I also watched another little YouTube documentary. Like if you just Google Lana Turner documentary on YouTube. No, that doesn't make any sense. I sound like an old person. Google a documentary on YouTube. Yeah.
Snapchat this to your text.
Just search Lana Turner documentary on YouTube, and yeah, it's like the first thing that comes up. Of course, all the Wikipedias and my favorite podcast. You must remember this. Okay, so Julia Jean Turner was born in 1921 in Idaho to a 15-year-old mother named Mildred.
Ooh, that's a scandal.
And a 24-year-old minor named John.
Oh, that's a hella scandal.
Julia, or Judy as she was called by her family and friends, had very humble beginnings as her parents struggled to put food on the table. Despite this, Judy from very early on, from the age of 3, seemed like she was destined to be a performer because she loved to dance for audiences whenever possible. At 6 years old, the family moved to San Francisco, and shortly thereafter, John abandoned 21-year-old Mildred and their daughter, Judy, to go do like whatever the fuck he was into.
Oh, wow. But they were together, her parents?
Yeah, they were together.
Oh, okay.
But he would still show up from time to time and pretend like he was the man of the house or whatever.
Ew, fuck you. Dislike or whatever.
Yes, dislike. You have to go out of your way to write dislike.
I know. What the
That
fuck? It's so messy.
So it seems like John, is that his name?
Yes.
Yeah, John was like really into bootlegging liquor.
Oh, okay.
That's kind of a cool job.
Yeah.
But his real passion was gambling.
Nice.
Which-
Hey, man, if it ain't liquor and it's not gambling, then it's sex. So,
So, I mean,
yeah. Whatever.
Anyway, I felt that because, I like to gamble.
Yeah, same. Fuck, man.
I was thinking about, this is why I started listening to the Las Vegas episode, because I was like, I wonder if we talk about this, how like we had that hot streak when we were like really young. We must have been 21 because we were gambling.
Yeah.
But it was like the time that the fire alarm went off and like,
Oh, yeah.
and we had to stop. We were shooting craps and like the fire alarm went off, so we had to stop.
Some
And
fucking guy
then-
next to us kept buying us our game, remember?
Yeah, and tipping us.
Yeah.
And then we had to stop again because somebody threw the dice and hit the dealer, and the dealer started bleeding on the table. And then we had to stop again because a foot came through the ceiling. Remember,
Yeah,
there
'cause
was
of the
plaster.
fire alarm. Yeah.
And there was plaster on the table.
Oh my god.
And I told like the long version of that story to someone once, and they didn't believe me. So I'm like, I want it here on record that all of that shit happened.
It really did happen. That was at the Venetian.
Yes, it did. Anyway, so John was playing craps one day when Judy was around 9 years old and won big.
Oh, nice.
So John started boasting to the rest of the guys in the game and was like, dope, I'm going to use this money to buy my baby girl Judy a tricycle.
Aw.
But low-key, is she too old for a tricycle? She's 9 years old.
Oh, I don't know.
So he leaves the craps game and around the corner gets his head bashed in and dies.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I was not expecting that.
He was found the next day with his left shoe and sock off, which was where he was seen at the game putting all his winnings.
Oh, man.
Both the robbery and his murder remain unsolved. But
It had to be
I
the other
mean,
guys, right?
yeah.
Who the fuck else would know?
yeah, exactly. So that's really shitty. The murder of her father really fucked little Judy up. She later said in her autobiography that his death was this sort of like dark cloud that followed her around everywhere and it forced her to grow up too fast.
Wow.
One of her friends points out that this early loss might be one of the reasons that she later goes through men like fucking Kleenex because she was always searching for someone to fill that void left by her father.
Yep. It's always the daddy issues.
Meanwhile, Mildred was out working like crazy to have enough money for her and her daughter to survive. She was a beautician, so she worked around the clock, taking gig after gig, sometimes 80 hours a week, so little Judy was often left with randos and whoever could take her in that week or that month or whatever.
Oh, shit.
But when her mom was able to spend time with her, what she taught her was like how to put herself together, like how to do her hair, how to do her makeup, her posture, how to act like a lady, stuff like that. So little Judy was very poised from a young age.
Well, that's good.
Judy got super into Catholicism as an adolescent, which is weird because it's not in her family or anything.
Yeah.
And it seemed like she was ready to go all in and become a nun, which is hilarious to me because of the reputation she gets later with men.
Yep.
But unfortunately, or fortunately, I guess, her mom got sick. Not like really sick. She was just kind of like sickly. So she had like a chronic respiratory thing. And her doctors advised her to move to a drier climate because they figured it would be good for her. And so Mildred picked up and moved herself and little Judy to Los Angeles, and Judy enrolled in Hollywood High.
Damn. That's a bop.
So the way that Lana Turner was discovered is Hollywood legend. It's one of those things that you see allusions to in a lot of old movies and TV shows. Legend had it that she was having a soda at Schwab's Pharmacy, which was this very famous pharmacy at the time on Sunset, which is now where CB2 is, when she was spotted. It's close to the real story, but the real story is this. So little Judy was 15 years old, and she wasn't super into school. If she showed up, she did just enough to skate by. So one day she decided to cut her typing class and walked directly across the street from Hollywood High to a spot called Top Hat Malt Shop. I think it's where Chick-fil-A is now. So this spot is where all the kids used to hang out. So I kind of imagine it like that one diner from Greece where all the waitresses, like they're all up in the kids' businesses and like they
like
know
the
everything
Max
that's
from Saved by the Bell.
Yeah, where like everybody knows each other. They know them by name and shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, she's in there having a soda when Billy Wilkerson, who was the publisher of the Hollywood Reporter, walks in because it was just a short walk from the reporter's office. And he tells the owner of the shop behind the counter to introduce him to her, which is low-key kind of creepy. But anyway, so the dude knew her because he knows all the kids. And he's like, yo, Judy, this dude wants to talk to you. And she's like, that's creepy. But he goes, no, he's a gentleman. I know him. He comes in here all the time. And she's like, all right, whatever. And Billy comes over and says the phrase, would you like to be in the movies?
We've got ourselves a picture.
and she responds, I'll have to ask my mother.
Hell yeah.
That's so sweet. So he gives her his card, and within a few days, he took her to meet Zeppo Marx, who had just left the Marx Brothers and became a powerful Hollywood agent. And Zeppo knew that Mervyn LeRoy was looking for a young girl for his next movie, so he took her to meet him. And Mervyn thought she was perfect. And just like that, she was signed to a $50 a week contract at Warner Brothers.
That's fucking crazy.
It's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And it's like the ultimate like magic Hollywood story, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
The owners of the shop put a plaque where she was discovered, and for years and years after, young girls would hang around at the soda counter both there and up the road at Schwab's, hoping that they would get discovered too.
That's so cute.
Because it's a fairy tale.
Yeah.
You know, that's what you imagine in your wildest dreams. Like you think someone's going to spot you, it's going to change your life, and you're going to be rich and famous.
Yeah, for sure.
So at one of her first meetings at Warner Brothers, they decide that the name Judy Turner was too fucking basic.
Mm-hmm.
So Judy's like, all right, how about Lana? And everyone was like, yes, that's perfect.
Yes.
That's it. Lana Turner. Yes. So usually back then, and to some extent now too, but especially back then, you'd get hired and they'd change everything about you. You'd get elocution lessons and a makeover. You'd get like new teeth and shit. But
I just saw this thing where Keanu was saying that they tried to change his name when he first started acting.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, like they didn't like, it's too ethnic. and
Keanu,
shit.
it's weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
What did they want to change to?
Like
John Smith?
Chad.
Oh, Chad. Oh, he looks like a
Yeah.
Chad, though.
He was like, what the fuck? He was like, no, I like this name.
Chad Reeves. Chad Reeves is like, he's definitely an action star.
Yeah, for sure.
So, okay, they usually do all that shit, but Mildred had brought her up to be very poised and put together, so she was basically the whole package, like fucking Lana Turner from the jump. So her first gig with Mervyn LeRoy was a movie called They Won't Forget, in which she has a small but very important part. She plays a young lady that gets raped and murdered, and the movie is all about the trial afterwards. So her role is crucial, and Mervyn was super concerned with finding the right person to play the part, and that's why when Lana walked into his office, he was like, yes, she's perfect, sign her.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted someone who was super beautiful, so much so that you'd remember her throughout the movie, even if she'd only been on screen for a few minutes.
Right.
He also wanted her to be sexy to sort of like complicate things, but not too sexy, because you didn't want like the 1930s audience to be like, oh, she deserved it or anything,
Yeah.
Anyway, so Lana makes her debut in the movie, and just as they needed, she was very memorable and caught the eye of the audience. In the movie, she wears this tight little sweater, and it blew everyone's mind. There were whole reviews of the movie from that time that talked about how the sweater she wore was like so sexy and so hot. One review said something like it was something that Cleopatra would wear to seduce Caesar.
Oh, damn.
And from then on, her nickname was the Sweater Girl. And she hated it. She was convinced like the Sweater Girl is going to be like on my obituary. It's going to be on my tombstone. Like,
Yeah.
And it really was. Like, people called her the Sweater Girl for her whole life.
That sucks.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, when Madonna dies, it's going to be Material Girl. And she hates that shit.
Yeah. Or Jennifer is going to be J-Lo.
Yeah.
She
Oh,
hates that
J-Lo,
shit.
it seems like she's embraced J-Lo again, though.
Yeah, for a while though, remember she was like
She
paying
wasn't
them to
feeling it.
stop calling her that.
Yeah. So Mervyn LeRoy moved from Warner's to MGM and took Lana with him. So suddenly she went from having a few small parts and generating buzz to having a contract at the biggest, most important studio. And over the next few years, continued to get bigger and higher profile parts.
Crazy.
In 1940, she also started dating this high-profile lawyer named Greg. She was super into him, and he sort of insinuated that they were going to get married. So she considered him her unofficial fiancé.
Okay.
They were pre-engaged, I guess.
Okay.
So Lana busts it open for Greg and loses her virginity.
Nice.
But then Greg stood her up on her 20th birthday, and she was pissed. She was like, I'm Lana fucking Turner. I'm a bad bitch. Fuck him. So on a whim, she went out on a date with the famous band leader, Artie Shaw, who we'll remember from the Judy Garland episode because he and Judy were engaged at the time.
Right.
So Artie and Lana went on a date and spontaneously decided to get married at the end of it and drove to Las Vegas and eloped.
Did Judy fuck up his house? Burn his house down?
No,
No.
Judy, tried to kill herself.
Oh, fuck, man. God damn it.
She saw it in the newspaper the next day and she was like, no, Artie. So this, of course, killed Judy, especially because this story was everywhere. If it was today, it would be all over Twitter, all over TMZ, because Lana was, of course, this gorgeous young movie star whose star was only getting bigger and bigger. And Artie was this big-time band leader, so of course they ate that shit up.
Right.
Lana wrote in her autobiography that after she and Artie got married and they finally made it home after fighting off the millions of reporters that were following them, they consummated their marriage.
Damn.
And
it was a flop.
It was not good.
Oh, no.
That's a flop. That's why you always taste the milk before you buy the cow, Lana.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that. Fuck. She says that she could only think of one question while they were having sex.
When will it end?
Close. What am I doing underneath this man?
Oh, fuck.
She also was briefly pregnant by Artie, but the studio forced her to have an abortion.
Abortion?
Needless to say, their highly publicized marriage didn't work out and they broke up 4 months later.
That sucks.
Can you cite weak dick game when you file for divorce? Because that is it's definitely an irreconcilable difference if I have ever heard one.
Yeah, for sure.
Shout out to our friends at You're Gonna Die Alone podcast. So now Lana was a newly single, rich, famous 20-year-old sex symbol divorcee, and she decided to start having some fun.
Fuck yeah, why not?
She became a sort of notorious party girl. She was photographed at the club like every single night with
Perfect.
fine ass guys and looking amazing, of course, just straight up killing it. Also, our girl Lana liked to fucking drink.
Nice. Same.
I saw an interview with one of her friends years later. Like, he was like a million years old. So it was like, I think she might have been dead at that point. And he told a little story about how she was an alcoholic. He said that one time they were going out for cocktails, and when they got in the limo to go, Lana started pouring them both shots, and he was like, "What the fuck? we're going to get cocktails." And Lana was like, "But we're not there yet." And I was like, "Damn, does that make her an alcoholic? Isn't that just pre-gaming?"
Yeah, y'all never did a pregame or what?
Shit.
I have done a pregame out of like an Arizona iced tea with me in a taxi.
Haters gonna hate.
Yeah,
Damn, they just can't fucking hang.
If you guys can't have as much fun as I can, I feel bad for you.
So anyway, that same guy said something really shady about her, which I loved. He said she had a short attention span for men.
Oh.
I love that. I'm going to start using that about myself.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so she was having a good ass time. And you know how people like to talk about women like that? Like women who don't give a fuck. She obviously got labeled as a sort of slut.
Right.
Some people called her a nymphomaniac and talked about how she would go after any man, her co-stars, randos at the club, the mailman, whatever.
But she's single.
She's single, but like...
People don't care when men do shit like that.
Exactly.
It's such bullshit.
Also, who the fuck does she think she is? Grace Kelly? So now...
Hollywood's #1 home record.
Miss Home Record, 1953. So Lana had this reputation, which sucked for her. For instance, starting in 1941, she made a series of 4 movies with Clark Gable. So, of course, there were hella rumors that they were fucking.
Yeah, I like Clark Gable. You don't, homie. We always say this. Yeah.
He looks like deformed. I don't know.
I know, but it's not his looks. It's just him.
Yeah, he was like the definition of a manly man. Like, just the way he carried himself and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll let him, like, slap me.
He could get it.
So Lana says that they were just friends. But later...
they were fucking...
That's what I'm saying. Later in her life, Lana tries to play down like just how slutty she was during this time.
Yeah.
So I honestly don't know. But anyway, if this is your first time listening to this podcast, if I ever call a woman a slut, it's a compliment.
Right.
Always imagine me saying like a silent good for her after calling someone a slut.
Right.
Anyway, so the rumors about her and Clark were very loud. So loud that while they were working on their second film together in 1942, people would not stop talking shit to Clark's wife, another bad bitch, Carol Lombard, while she was at a rally in her hometown in Indiana selling war bonds. So Carol was like, I need to get fucking home to check on my mans, like, right now.
Your first mistake was letting your man do 4 movies with Lana Turner. I'm just going to tell you that shit.
True. So she cancels her train and charters a flight back home to LA, and the plane crashes just outside of Las Vegas, killing all 22 people on board.
Oh my God. That's crazy.
That's how bad of a bitch fucking Lana Turner was.
This girl, Carol Lombard, was a bad bitch too, though.
She's beautiful.
Yeah. That's awful.
Carol Lombard died at 33, I think.
Yeah.
Which was like, I was tripping the other day because, when I read that, I was like, she's 33. Like, I'm almost 33. Like, I'm about to be older than that bitch.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking about also Ava Perón was 33 when she died. Like,
what she
fuck?
was?
Yeah. We're going to be like, crazy. It's weird that we're like older than people now. Because, like you're rarely older than people.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, our girl Lana became one of the most popular pinup girls of her day.
Yeah.
They painted her on tons of fighter planes throughout World War II. I feel like no bitch will ever be badder than the bitches who are painted on fucking fighter planes, you know? The closest you can get is being airbrushed on a lowrider, but that's not even close. So
no, it's not.
Yeah, so good luck with that, Angelica. In July of 1942, Lana married her second husband, Steve Crane, in Las Vegas a week after their first date.
Nice. Why did she do that?
I don't know.
So fucking quick. Like
it's a bad look.
I know.
She had to get this marriage annulled 4 months later because, Steve forgot to mention that he was already married.
Oh my God.
Shortly thereafter, Lana discovered that she was pregnant.
Oh, that's sketchy.
So Steve finalized his divorce and he and Lana got remarried in Tijuana in March of 1943. And she had her baby girl, Cheryl, in July.
Aww.
Cheryl and Lana had a sort of tumultuous relationship. Lana desperately wanted a baby, so I don't understand what happened, but she basically left Cheryl to be raised by her nannies and by Mildred. It was literally a full year after Cheryl was born, the first time that Lana was ever alone with her.
Whoa. I was about to ask, so her mom's still alive, right?
Yeah, her mom's alive.
Wow,
her mom seems like a good mom. Like,
yeah,
she was just
sure.
there for her.
Yeah.
But isn't that like, then what's up? Like, you wanted a baby, but you didn't want to be a mom or something? Like,
I don't know. That's weird. Some
or
people, maybe she had postpartum depression. She didn't know about it.
That's true. And back then, like, people didn't know what the fuck that was.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she wasn't, Cheryl had a rough childhood.
Okay. I would not want to be Lana Turner's daughter.
I know. How do you live up to that?
You never will. Like,
yeah, right. So in August of the next year, 1944, she divorced Steve because he was a gambler and he couldn't hold no job. So good for her.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, she's still working her ass off and by this time had starred in a ton of movies, a lot of them hits. Then in 1946, she starred in what has arguably become her signature role in The Postman Always Rings Twice.
Nice.
This is a really, really great, fantastic movie, and I highly recommend you guys watch it if you ever get a chance. In it, she wears what had been regarded as the sexiest outfit ever worn on screen at the time.
Damn, Marilyn Monroe is shook.
When she makes her entrance in this tiny white, like, little blouse that showed off her midriff and then matching little white shorts.
Mm-hmm.
And she has, like, a little white turban and, like, little white sandals. She looks adorable. It's so cute. I love it. So even if you don't watch the movie, definitely, like, look up this picture of her and I'm sure we'll post it somewhere. But yeah, she looks so cute. She looks bomb. And the movie was a huge hit, and that image of Lana in the white outfit became instantly iconic. After this movie, she later had an affair with Tyrone Power and his eyebrows, who she considered the love of her life.
Aww. He
got her pregnant, but she chose to have an abortion, and ultimately it didn't work out with him.
Aww.
Lana has a rare blood type. She's Rh negative, so it makes it very difficult to carry children to term.
Oh.
So throughout her life, she actually has a bunch of, I think this might have been like her last abortion, but a bunch of stillborn babies, a lot of miscarriages. So she had a kind of like rough go at it.
That sucks. That's
reproductively.
Awful. Is that what Kim Kardashian has?
No, Kim Kardashian, I think, had suffered a hole in her uterus when she had her first baby, so it's hard for her to carry subsequent babies, and she shouldn't.
Oh yeah.
So she had the second one, huh?
She did, but it was like the worst thing of her life.
Yeah.
She said it was like the worst pain in her life.
Yeah, interesting. So yeah. Anyway, so which you would think like you want children, you would think you would try to have like a closer relationship with your daughter because you can't have more, even though you would like to.
I don't know. There's something going on there that, we don't know about. She doesn't talk about. Yeah.
Okay. So it didn't work out with Tyrone Power. Then she started dating Frank Sinatra.
Because everybody
did. That's what you did.
Yeah.
It's like you get your SAG card and then you start dating Frank Sinatra.
For a little bit, yeah.
And then later she dated Howard Hughes.
Oh, hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Howard Hughes and his big ass nails.
Pissing into like milk bottles and shit.
Fuck yeah. He probably took her on a plane ride and shit. They fucked in one of his mansions.
Did he paint a picture of her on his plane? Because, if your man's got a plane and you're Lana Turner, like, it's
Howard
a must,
Hughes
right?
was real into Ava Gardner, though, right?
Yeah,
that was like his main bitch, or he wanted her to be his main bitch.
And I was going to say Kate Blanchett.
I fucking love Kate Blanchett, dude. I was just looking at, because it was her birthday on Monday or something.
Yeah.
And so everybody was posting pictures of her, and I was
Right.
like, God, you the baddest.
And everything was iconic. Like every look that they
Yes.
posted of her was iconic.
Yes.
Wasn't it also Sofia Coppola's birthday the same day?
Who cares?
No, I love her.
Yeah, I like Sofia Coppola too.
Did you watch The Beguiled?
No,
'Cause
is
I
it
know-
good?
Yeah, it's pretty good because, I fuck with Nicole Kidman.
Yeah. I actually like almost all of Sofia Coppola's movies.
Yeah. The only one I don't really like is Somewhere.
I never seen that one.
You don't have to. I do fuck with Elle Fanning though. I think she's a good
You
little
love
actress.
her, yeah.
Yeah. I used to fuck more
You
with
were like-
Dakota, but
Oh,
like
Dakota Fanning. That's right. That's who I'm thinking of. You were like obsessed with her for a
I
little
was
bit.
upset. I was like, Dakota Fanning is baby
The
Meryl
best,
Streep.
yeah, you know, like, she's the best actress of all time.
But now actually, Elle gets better roles. I think because she's pretty.
Oh, that
like
sucks. Yeah.
anyway. So by the late 1940s, she was MGM's most popular star and one of the 10 highest paid women in the world.
Hell yeah.
In early 1948, she started dating Bob Topping Jr., who was a millionaire socialite whose brother owned the Yankees.
Oh shit.
Bob proposed, this is a power couple right here.
Hell yeah.
Bob proposed to her by dropping a fat ass diamond ring into her martini at the 21 Club in New York, and they got married in April of that year.
That's what I'm talking about. Talk about a rock.
This wedding was so ballin' that the press actually gave her a lot of shit for it. But I thought it was cute that she actually had it at the home of Billy Wilkerson, the publisher of The Hollywood Reporter, who discovered her all those years before.
Oh, that is so cute.
How cute is that? I
oh
love
my
that.
God. Yeah, that's really great.
Anyway, so the media was giving her shit, and there were headlines like, Lana Turner marries for the fourth and possibly last ? Time.
Fuck yeah. Print that shit, baby. Print that shit for sure. The fucking newspaper. What the fuck?
How savage. This was like the first savage headline.
Yeah,
like,
that shit's crazy.
Why though?
Oh, man.
Let her live. She can do whatever the fuck she wants.
Yeah, fuck you guys.
But she really loved Bob. And later she slit her wrist and swallowed a bottle of pills when he left her.
What? Why did he leave her?
I think he was just like fucking around on her.
Wow.
Also, she had been kind of depressed at this time too.
Okay.
So I think it just kind of like just blew up.
Because people didn't, we gotta remember, like, back in like the 50s, 40s and shit, people didn't take care of themselves.
Right.
Like, you weren't, like now there's such an emphasis on like health and working out
Mental
and stuff like
health.
that. Yes.
Yeah.
And like back then it was just like be skinny. So,
Right,
you know,
yeah.
people just didn't eat, did pills and
Yeah.
drank and shit and like
The,
smoked.
the doctor would be like, here's your pack of cigarettes and
Yeah.
here's your fifth of whiskey.
Yeah.
Like, call me in the morning.
This shit's fucking crazy.
Yeah. And it's crazy. We still have a long way to go. You know,
do, yeah.
We're still not living the healthiest lives that we could or should be, you know?
Definitely not. Yeah.
But so just imagine how it was back then.
right.
Okay, so she slit her wrist and she swallowed a bottle of pills and she locked herself in her bathroom. But
Fuck.
luckily, her business manager came by, and when he realized that the bathroom was locked and she wasn't answering, he broke that shit down.
Good. That's awesome.
So he called the ambulance, and luckily she pulled through. She made a string of less successful films around this time, which sort of marked a rough patch in her life.
Mm.
And she had an affair because she's still married to homie Bob was his name, I think. Yeah, she's still married to Bob.
Bob Toppin.
But he had left her, but they were still like married.
Okay.
And she starts having an affair with Fernando Lamas
Ooh.
that ended when he physically assaulted her,
Ooh.
which led to him being fired from MGM.
Oh, wow. Good.
When I read that, I was like, what the fuck? How bad was this assault that MGM actually fired him?
Yeah, because, they would have just been like, oh, whatever,
Yeah,
sweep it under the
yeah,
rug and shit.
Exactly. We've heard so many horror stories about them just like not giving a fuck. And
Right.
I'm just like, ooh, I'm shocked. So this must have been like really, really bad.
Yeah.
Anyway, by 1952, Lana officially divorced Bob, but by September of 1953, she was married to actor Lex Barker, who she had been dating for over a year. So, okay.
Okay.
She went from one date to a week to now to a year. So,
Yeah, that's pretty good.
okay. MGM was low-key sort of done with Lana. I think actually, and Lex used to play, he was like Tarzan on screen, but that was like, he was like the 10th Tarzan, or like the movies were flopping and shit. So his career was basically over.
Yeah.
So MGM was low-key sort of done with Lana because they had a very young Elizabeth Taylor under contract and figured they could use her and therefore didn't really need Lana anymore.
Had Lana gained a little weight by now? Too?
I mean, she was a little bit old. She was still like far from
anything. Yeah.
She was just like, just maybe
normal.
Just not this like skinny little ingenue that she had been, you know,
right.
10 years before.
Right.
So they purposely put her in a sort of like string of bad movies.
Just to be done with her?
Right.
That's
and
those
of course,
those old school contracts are awful.
They're the worst.
We should do an episode just on that shit.
Just, yeah. And all like the forced abortions and shit. Yeah. Like all the shit that they had to go through.
And all that shit. Yeah.
So, of course, she had a few flops because the movies they were putting her in were like bad. And also remember, she was like one of the highest paid women in the world. So obviously you don't want to renew this contract. And that's what happened.
Right.
So they did not renew her. They chose not to renew her contract in February of 1956 after she had been with them for 18 years.
Wow. And how old is she now?
Let me see. 56. She was born in 21.
Okay.
So what? Almost 40?
35.
35. Okay. Yeah. So Lana's husband, Lex, was a mega piece of shit. Fucking Tarzan.
Oh, no.
He had been raping Cheryl.
Oh, my God.
From the time she was 10 to the time she was 13.
Oh, my God, May. That's not where I thought that was going.
Listen, he told her that it was a stepfather's job to give sex lessons to their stepdaughters.
No.
He also told her that if she told anyone, that she'd be sent to juvie and put into solitary confinement.
Oh my God.
That really stood out to me because that's how much of a monster this dude is. Like, this is a kid who was largely raised by staff, who was often left alone, and that's what he chose to tell her, you know, like, we're going to put you away and you're going to be alone. Like, this guy.
Oh my God, me.
This guy
that's
fucking sucks.
Crazy.
Yeah. Gross. Okay. And it gets worse. One night.
How, Sway?
So he would slip into Cheryl's room at night. And anyway, one night he hit her in the face until she blacked out and raped her repeatedly until she couldn't stand. So like, that was it. Now Cheryl had to tell her mom because I'm sure that there was like physical, you know.
Yeah.
So she had to tell Lana what happened, and Lana didn't believe her.
That always happens.
So Mildred, Lana's mom, she begged Lana to take Cheryl to the doctor, and she did because she listened to her mom, and her mom's a good mom. So
yeah. Oh, thank God for Mildred. You're the real MVP, Mildred.
So she took her to the doctor, and the doctor told her, yes, Cheryl actually needs stitches down there, and that the trauma was violent and repeated. So this wasn't just like one time. This has been something that had been happening.
Stitches?
Yeah. So that night, Lana didn't go home, obviously. And the next morning, she walked into the house, and when she saw Lex, he asked her why she didn't come home, and Lana didn't answer. She just stared at him. And he yelled, "What has your daughter been telling you?"
Are you kidding? She hasn't even said anything?
Yeah,
motherfucker. If anybody could be more guilty.
Right. So she actually pulls a gun on him.
Hell yeah. Kill that fool.
And she says, "I want you out in 20 minutes, and you know why."
Oh,
and they divorced in July 1957.
Good. At least that ended better than,
yeah,
I don't know, like her and Cheryl just becoming estranged or something. Please don't tell me they become estranged.
No.
Okay,
actually,
good.
Because they're still not in a good place. So it's like,
well, and this isn't making it any fucking better.
Right. In January of 1957, Lana started being pursued by a dude who calls himself John Steele. John would send her a ton of gifts, flowers, a gold watch, paintings, records, just endless shit. He like cold called her. He was like, "Hey, my name's John. We should start dating." And like, they started dating.
Is this the guy?
Yeah, this is the guy.
Okay.
Then Lana found out that John Steele was actually named Johnny Stampanato. And And he was like a low-level goon in the LA mob and worked for Mickey Cohen.
Oh, shit. All of these names are very scary now, all of a sudden.
Remember that movie where Sean Penn played Mickey Cohen? He had like all the prosthetic makeup on. I can't remember what it was called, but I think it's the one with Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling.
Like it's like Los Angeles something.
Something like that.
That movie's good. Hold on. Can I look it up?
Yeah, look it up.
Gangster Squad.
Gangster Squad. Yeah, that's right. So, okay, if you've ever seen Gangster Squad, Mickey Cohen is Sean Penn.
Yeah.
Sean Penn is Mickey
Sean
Cohen.
Sean Penn is also very scary.
So, all right. So apparently, and unbeknownst to Lana, the mob had Johnny trying to get it in with a lot of hot starlets. Like, they were trying to position him as a sort of inside man in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
Like, maybe, I don't know, one of them would let him marry them and then maybe manage them. And then maybe he would be at an agency and start being able to pressure people, you know, so.
And then maybe they would take over fucking Hollywood.
Right. So, Lana broke up with him after she found out that he was in the mob.
Uh-huh.
Good
call, Lana.
But then they got back together, and then they'd break up, and then they got back together again, and he'd beat her. He beat her up.
Down the pipe real good.
Yep, compared to Artie Shaw. Ooh.
She was Artie.
She was digmatized.
Yeah.
So all right. So he'd beat her up and verbally abuse her and emotionally abuse her, and it was a nightmare. In September, so at that point it had been like 9 months, I think, since they started seeing each other. Johnny visited Lana on set in London where she was filming a movie with Sean Connery. Johnny assaulted Lana on the set and choked her out, crushing her larynx. So someone on set called Scotland Yard to come get this fool and deport his ass, but he slipped away.
Okay.
He then came back to the set with a gun to threaten Sean Connery to stay the fuck away from Lana. But Sean Connery, aka fucking James motherfucking Bond,
hell yeah,
did some James Bond ass move to disarm him and fucked up his wrist, like twisted his wrist and punched him in the face. So John had to like literally run away from set.
Fuck yeah, that's awesome. I was just thinking,
badass.
Yeah, that's badass.
The cops caught up with him and put him on a plane out of the country. But somehow he found out that Lana was going to Copenhagen on a layover on her way home, and he managed to get himself on her flight out of Copenhagen. Johnny threatened at gunpoint to kill her mom, kill Cheryl, and kill himself. So Lana just took him back.
Oh my God. This is fucking really scary.
She was ashamed and knew that people would once again start talking shit about her bad taste in men. So she decided to just stick with him and just keep everything under wraps as best she could. In December 1957, she starred in Peyton Place, which was a huge hit and earned her first Oscar nomination.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
In March, knowing she couldn't show up to the Oscars with a mobster,
she showed up with Sean Penn. Fuck it, this'll do.
Because it would be bad for her image. She took Cheryl as her date instead.
Aww.
Even though Lana didn't win, Cheryl says that it was the greatest night of her life.
Aww, I bet. Oh my God.
God, I want to go to Vanity Fair party so bad.
I would fucking die to go to the Oscars.
Oh God. So, like, they went to all the parties. They danced all night with all the movie stars. It sounds amazing. Side note, this was Lana's first nomination, despite being in the business for damn near 20 years at this point.
Yeah.
And
Clark Gable, meanwhile, probably had like a fucking million nominations.
Right. And I like, the theory is it has a lot to do with her reputation. Like, people didn't want to reward her because she is like this tainted woman. She's like a slut or whatever. Meanwhile, our girl Grace Kelly was for real a secret nymphomaniac, and she was nominated for her first starring role. So the lesson there is like, keep that shit quiet.
Yep.
Anyway, so Johnny was fucking furious that Lana didn't take him to the Oscars. And when Lana and Cheryl walked into their suite at the Bel Air Hotel that night, they found Johnny inside, obviously uninvited. He threw it in her face that he was good enough to fuck, but not good enough to go to the ceremony.
Ooh.
And he full scale beat the shit out of Lana.
Oh my God.
She says it was beyond anything that he'd done to her at that point, and she feared for her life. She and Cheryl talked about the bad publicity if this ever got out. Plus, part of the problem was that she wasn't at MGM anymore. MGM was very powerful, and they would have had some goons of their own to handle this dude, but she was like fucking on her own.
Oh, man.
So she tells him it's over for good, and a few days later she moves into a new house in Beverly Hills to try to get the fuck away from him.
Oh,
But it's
man. Could you imagine like packing up and moving like that? Like, because you're scared?
Yeah, and basically in the middle of the night, you know?
Oh.
But it's like she doesn't realize that, yes, this dude is unstable and all, but one of the reasons he's not going to let her go that easily is because his bosses in the Bob are going to be furious with him if he drops the ball on this.
Yeah.
Because he's supposed to, be using her to infiltrate the system. Anyway, so it's now been a week since the Oscars. It's Good Friday. And Johnny is somehow in the new house fighting with Lana. Cheryl is in her bedroom doing homework and hears everything. She hears him slap her around. She hears him threaten everyone in her family. She hears him say that if she were a man, he'd cut her hands off. But instead, he'll slash her face so that she'll never work again. It was like really bad. Imagine Cheryl is 14.
Yeah.
Like, she must have been terrified.
She's been through a lot.
Yeah. So, she's only 14. She's terrified. And she goes up to Lana's bedroom door and she knocks on the door. And Lana and her talk for a minute alone in the bathroom. And Lana sends Cheryl back to her room. Then Lana tells Johnny that he needs to leave.
Oh.
Cheryl hears the continued threats and decides to go to the kitchen and grab a knife to flash it at Johnny and scare him.
Uh-huh.
So Cheryl bangs on the door.
This poor little girl.
I know. Oh my God. Okay. So she bangs on the door and she flings it open and walks in with a knife in her hand. So when she walks in, imagine you're walking into the room. She's like facing his back and her mom is behind him.
Okay.
So
her mom's looking at her.
Yes.
Okay.
So she's facing his back and he has his hand in the air as if he's about to, his fist in the air, like he's going to wail on Lana, like start hitting her. But when he notices that Cheryl's in the room, he stops and he turns around and he walks towards Cheryl.
Uh-huh.
And he walks straight into the knife. So
that's the way we're going to say it, and that's the way it's going to stay.
Right. Ooh. So he says, quote, "My God, Cheryl, what have you done?" In her autobiography, Cheryl wrote, quote, "For 3 ghastly heartbeats, our bodies fused."
Oh,
that's so chilling, huh?
That's poetic. Yeah.
It is.
That shit's scary.
Johnny fell to the floor and Cheryl ran to her room and got into the fetal position.
Oh.
She was actually in a fugue state for 24 hours and was unable to say anything but, "I'm so sorry and I didn't mean to."
Oh, no.
She just said that over and over and over again for a whole day. Lana didn't know what the fuck happened. She thought Cheryl had like maybe punched him or something.
Yeah.
But because he was on the floor and she lifted his sweater and saw that he was bleeding. And by the way, this is obviously the story that Cheryl and Lana told. It's hard to say what really happened. And a lot of people suspect that it was Lana who killed him and Cheryl took the fall.
Right.
Or that Lana asked Cheryl to do it, or any number of other scenarios that suggest foul play.
Right.
It didn't help that Lana first called her mother, then a friend, and then her lawyer, and that they all got to the house before the cops were called. Also, there were no fingerprints on the knife.
Okay.
But at the end of the day,
this is the story, and that's how we're gonna tell it.
That's what I'm saying. Are we mad that this fucking monster is dead?
I'm not mad at it.
No,
yeah, fuck.
Yeah. Honestly, if things continue to escalate, it seems like somebody was gonna
him or Lana kill or be killed, man.
Right, or Lana and her whole fucking family, because that's what he was saying he was gonna do. So so fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Okay, so by the morning, the story was fucking everywhere. Cheryl was taken into custody and sat in juvenile hall while the district attorney conducted an inquest.
Oh my God. I'm so sad for her.
Mickey Cohen, and if you look at her, like they have the footage of her walking into court. Cheryl is gorgeous.
Oh yeah, like, of course she is.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
All right. And okay, so Mickey Cohen and John's brother were on a mission to make sure that Lana went down for this.
Oh no.
They wanted Cheryl to take a lie detector test to prove that it wasn't Lana. To prove that it was Lana who did it. Cheryl didn't have to testify at the inquest because she's only 14. She's just a little baby.
Right.
But Lana did have to testify, and she gave this riveting account of what happened on the stand. You could see like little tiny clips of it.
Because she's an actress, so she fucking told that story so good.
Yeah.
She'll have you eating out of her hand at the end of that shit.
And like the media, they, you know how cynical they are. Everybody, all the headlines were like, Lana Turner's greatest role to date because she fucking killed it. She
Yeah.
sold that shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, Life magazine published the photos of her on the stand next to stills from movies where she was on the witness stand.
Uh-huh.
I feel like that's kind of shitty.
Yeah. This is awful what happened.
Yeah.
Like, don't
Right.
do that.
So it was a fucking mess.
Yeah.
But in the end, the jury determined that it was justifiable homicide, and Cheryl was released a few weeks later, and no one was charged in Johnny Stapamanto's death.
Good.
Mickey
Bye.
Cohen Mickey Cohen said that this was the first time he'd seen a man convicted of his own murder. And Johnny's son sued Lana in the wrongful death of his father, and they ended up settling out of court.
Okay.
For $20,000.
Collateral damage.
$20,000 was worth it to get this fucking man out of your life. And
Yep.
this became known as the murder of the 1950s and was obviously a humongous story. After this, Lana's career blew the fuck up again because of all the publicity from this case and coming straight off the heels of her Oscar nom for Peyton Place. Cheryl was in and out of trouble, and she did some time in juvie. She had a little drug problem and
Oh, no.
briefly stayed in an institution.
Oh, wow.
Finally, it seems like she got the help that she needed once someone figured out that a lot of these issues stemmed from the PTSD of fucking killing a man.
Of
you know?
course. Yeah.
And she and Lana actually became really close. So I guess they did have a sort of happy ending, which is
Good.
nice.
Good. That is nice.
She came out as a lesbian also when she was 13 years old, and apparently Lana was like super cool about it. Lana and her dad were like, "Oh, okay, cool, we love you," which is like crazy for that time, you know? But
yeah.
anyway, so she was a lesbian, and she actually met her life partner, Joyce, but everybody calls her Josh, at a party at Marlon Brando's house.
Nice.
It was like now today, I think it was like 45 years ago, and they've been together ever since. They just got married like 3 years ago.
Oh, that's so
Isn't it?
cute.
I love that.
Yeah.
And everybody loved Josh so much. Lana considered Josh her daughter, like from the jump.
Oh.
So, we stand an ally.
Yeah.
Lana got married 3 more times.
Hell yeah.
Once
was when she met a guy at a post office, and then they walked across the street to the courthouse and they got married.
I think you can legally get married at a post office. Like
Yep.
the postmaster general can marry
Well,
you.
if anybody's done it, it's been Lana.
Like she accidentally got somebody else's mail in her box, and she was like,
Well,
you
gotta
know,
marry this guy.
that's a meet cute. So she 3 more times. Once to Fred May, as in Robinson's May. So he was a bowler.
That's a bop.
It didn't work out though, but they remained friends for the rest of their lives, and they both spoke really highly of each other. So I wonder what happened there.
Yeah, whatever.
Anyway, once to a young businessman who later cheated on her,
Mm-hmm.
and once to a hypnotist she met at a disco who stole $35,000 in cash from her and $100,000 in jewelry.
Oh, shit.
She divorced him in 1970 and claims that she was celibate for the rest of her life. In total, she had 8 marriages to 7 men. She famously said that she wanted to have 1 husband and 7 children, but it turned out the other way around.
Oh
That's my
God.
favorite. She continued to work well into the 1980s, but she was a lifelong smoker, and in 1992 was diagnosed with throat cancer and died at the age of 74 in 1995.
Aw, R.I.P., baby.
R.I.P. Lana left Cheryl and her partner Josh some personal items and $50,000 in cash. But the rest of her estimated $1.7 million estate was left to Carmen Lopez Cruz, her maid, companion, and caregiver for the last 45 years of her life.
Whoa. That's what I'm talking about, baby.
Hey. Cheryl contested the will, but she ended up losing.
She didn't give anything to Cheryl? Say it again.
She gave $50,000 and like some personal
Damn.
items to Cheryl.
And like $1 million something to...
Yeah, to her maid. But
Well,
yeah, you never know. I mean, like, it's also her caregiver because she had been sick for several years at the end there. Like,
Well. yeah.
Also, Cheryl was like fine.
Yeah,
was
she's totally fine.
She ended up going to school and getting a degree in like hospitality,
There's
and
books, right?
yeah, she wrote a book, and like she was like in the restaurant industry. She was fine. I think that was probably most of it.
I'm sure, yeah.
But anyway, Cheryl contested the will, and she ended up losing. But then also Carmen says that there wasn't much left after
they paid all her debts and shit.
Well, not her debts, but like she was just like after fighting the contention of the will and stuff, like she ended up not having that much money left anyway. Also, fun fact, Cheryl says that she and Christina, Joan Crawford's daughter, were friends as a kid.
Aww.
And when Mommy Dearest came out, she asked Lana if she thought it was true. And Lana was like, of course it is. Everybody knows that about Joan.
Oh.
And that's the story of Lana Turner.
Oh my God, man. I think I did the Lucy oil. There we go. Oh man.
There's if you want to look at it, there's like a 1-minute clip on YouTube of Cheryl talking about this on some talk show next to Christina. And she's like, and she talks about, she asked Lana, like, why didn't anybody do anything? Why didn't anybody say anything? And I guess Lana told her, we just took care of our own back then. We were, we weren't putting people's business. Yeah.
Oh man. That's a good ass episode, man. Good job.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Sorry for this long ass episode. Tune in on Monday for our afternoon delight.
Yes.
Hit us up on Instagram and Twitter at Drama Club Pod, on the website dramaclubpod.com, at our email dramaclubpod@gmail.com.
On the hotline 505-539-0556. And at the P.O. Box, number 27433, Los Angeles, California, 90027.
Bye.
Bye.
However, whatever with your helmet.